Hey guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Hope you guys are all doing well. As you can see, the legend is in the building. Fahad is in the building. This is going to be his fan cam. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, please smash the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, check us out on the socials. And obviously we're going to be talking about Bayern Munich winning 7-0 today. And without further ado, Fahad, your turn to speak, mate. Go ahead.
Of course, and it's an absolute pleasure as always coming on, definitely. I love that you give the opportunity for fans to talk their mind. Now, on to the match. The match in of itself was a wonderful match for Bayern, 7-0, always a perfect scoreline, an expected scoreline when it comes to Bayern Munich. A high-scoring game where Ulrich and our defenders definitely showed their value here. I will definitely commend Matthias Tell, Kingsley Coman, Leroy Sané, and Harry Kane especially for their combined assists and goals, especially Tell coming on and scoring, which he has made a happenstance for him to often come on and score, whether that be a substitution or starting. And Harry Kane showing his worth by scoring a hat trick today, proving that he is not here to simply score one or two goals a game, but he's here to score hat tricks, and almost every single week he can do that. Furthermore, he is an assist provider. He provided, if I'm not mistaken, 2 assists today, proving that he is not only a number 9 player, I mean, he wore the number 10 at Tottenham. That proves himself as not only a striker, a in-the-box striker, such as a player like Haaland, however, he can also create. He's a creator as well as a striker, which is definitely something that Bayern are always looking for. To move on to the criticisms of the match, which although there aren't many, there are still some to be mentioned. First and foremost, I will definitely talk about Thomas Tuchel, who, as we all know, our wonderful host here isn't that quite fond of. However, I do understand some of his comments and I do agree with some of his comments, but at the same time, I do feel that we shouldn't criticize him that often when he does not make such precarious mistakes. However, one time which I will criticize him is this match, where, if I'm not mistaken, he subbed off Matthias de Ligt in the 45th minute. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken or if I'm lacking in knowledge here, but Matthias de Ligt was not injured, nor was he unfit to play. He started. And the fact that he subbed him off while he scored the goal is something that I honestly find, so to speak, discouraging to not only Matthias de Ligt as a player, but as the entire back line, as the entire squad, that even if you score a goal as a defender in the starting lineup, you're not going to be kept on. And personally, I think that's something that shouldn't be done. It's discouraging to not only a player such as Matthias de Ligt coming back from being unfit, to be said by Thomas Tuchel himself that Matthias de Ligt was unfit or unready to play starting matches, that he came as a starter and scored the goal, that he was subbed off for Upamecano. No disrespect to Upamecano as a player, he did quite fine, but still, I feel that Matthias de Ligt should have played at least until the 60th minute or even further. Other than that, I will definitely comment upon Leroy Sané. Leroy Sané today had a very good performance. Not a spectacular one, such as Harry Kane and other players had. However, he had a very good performance. One issue I did notice, though, concurringly, over the match and over multiple stages of the match, whether that be the first or second half, is him unfortunately losing the ball quite often. That isn't an issue when you're leading 4-0. However, when it comes to big matches, when it comes to matches against Manchester United, when it comes to matches in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and even if we were to reach at the final of the Champions League, that is going to be a costly mistake. Every single ball lost in any position, in any location on the pitch, is something that is completely unacceptable in those stages, in stages where you're currently equal in goals or where you're only holding a 1-0 lead. That is something I definitely feel Sané needs to improve, whether that be his control over the ball or his passing ability. Pardon me, not his passing ability, his need to pass more, you could say, is definitely something I would argue needs to be done. I feel like Leroy Sané as a player is wonderful and he can dribble, no doubt about it. However, when it comes to him constantly holding the ball and losing it, I mean, if you're going to lose the ball, don't hold it. Simple as. That's my personal belief. What's yours?
Yeah, no, I know where you're coming from. I think that is definitely a flaw in his game at times. I think maybe he overthinks too many things at times. But what do you think on? Obviously, you're going to be happy. But what do you think on Harry Kane scoring a hat trick today?
I don't know, Harry Kane once more showing his value by not only scoring a hat trick, however, also providing those 2 assists, which I must praise. Honestly, I would praise those 2 assists more than that hat trick, and for 2 reasons here. One, it proves that he's a playmaker. It proves that he can be relied on to create chances for his teammates, to create chances for fellow positions, either that be on the wing or on the cam position in the midfield. And that furthermore, he is a player that you can rely on to help the team, whatever position that may be, because honestly, in all honesty here, pardon me, for a lack of a better term, Harry Kane practically carried that Spurs team over the past couple of years, working as not only a defender, but a midfielder, a central attacking midfielder, and a striker all at the same time. Many a time I was watching the Spurs game and you would find Harry Kane dropping down to midfield at times. Even at times you would find him in the box defending. And that is something that is a very good attribute that Harry Kane has developed over his long career and period with Tottenham Hotspur, which can be definitely utilized to its maximum with Bayern Munich, even though we don't utilize him in those positions or we don't need him there as much. And we already, like in comparison, no disrespect to Tottenham fans, but in comparison with Tottenham, we already have decent and world-class players in the positions which Harry Kane was needed at in Tottenham. However, the fact that he has those attributes is extremely commendable. And that's something that I feel is noteworthy and needs to be said and needs to have him commended by.
Yeah.
Other than that, I would say that... oh, please, you were saying something.
No. I was just basically agreeing with you. I agree. Like, Tottenham, just say it. I know you're a nice guy, so you won't say it, but they're shit. That one-man team, and and the fact that he can do that for us when we've got other players in it, I just agree with you, man. Carry on, my bro. Carry on.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, Harry Kane has proven his worth in not only the English Premier League, however, in the Champions League, taking Tottenham Hotspur to that final against Liverpool. And although him not being the key star in many a moment, especially when it came to that semi-final, Harry Kane has constantly, time and time over again, shown that he is for a lack of a better term, a utility player, a player that you can rely on and you can keep in trust to not only be a striker. He is a player that can play in multiple positions during a match, if need be. He's similar to Thomas Muller in some aspects, and that Thomas Muller doesn't necessarily have a clear defined position on the pitch, that he's a free mover all around the pitch. You can find him in defense, in midfield, in attack, even sometimes as a striker. Harry Kane applies that similar philosophy to a degree. I may be rambling here incoherently to a degree about Harry Kane and his comparison to Thomas Muller, but what I'm trying to get at here is that Harry Kane can oftentimes drop into midfield and assist the wingers in providing. That's what I'm trying to say here. Maybe not so much at defending, but definitely at providing. Other than that, I would definitely say that Kim Min-jae and de Ligt had a wonderful partnership, although at the same time, we must admit that it has not been truly tested yet. No disrespect to VfL Bochum, however, at the same time, they are not the sharpest attack in the Bundesliga nor in Europe. So when it comes to the de Ligt Kim Min-jae partnership, I wouldn't comment on it just yet because we have not seen them against a truly a dangerous, a threatful, an attack with tooth and claw. We haven't seen them against some of Europe's best attacks yet, so I can't really comment on it. But when it came to Bochum, they definitely held their own, and they definitely proved that a partnership between them is possible and likely in my eyes, that Thomas Tuchel should implement that partnership in the near future. And I would think that most Bayern fans in the Bayern community, as well as generally in the Bundesliga community, are almost confused as to the point of why de Ligt hasn't been in a partnership with Kim Min-jae. It isn't for lack of positioning. De Ligt, as we know, is a right centre back, and Kim Min-jae is a left centre back. Or if I'm mistaken, they're the opposite. But the point being is that they can both play in a partnership where they can both utilize their strengths and abilities together to provide a partnership that I would say is even better than Dayot Upamecano and Kim Min-jae, or Kim Min-jae and Matthias de Ligt. No, and I do have to say this time and time again, I do seem off-putting of Dayot Upamecano and his contributions, pardon me, to this team. However, I will say that Dayot Upamecano is a wonderful player. He has not necessarily gained the right yet, in my personal opinion, to be a constant, guaranteed, permanent starter for this team. No player is a constant, guaranteed, permanent starter, except for Thomas Müller, in my opinion. And even then, you have Jamal Musiala competing with him. In Bayern, at least, it's that
Maybe
philosophy
Harry
that no
Kane.
matter Harry Kane, possibly, yeah, but even Harry Kane has Matthias Tel and Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting behind him. The philosophy of Bayern Munich that you have no singular player who's guaranteed the spot, that they have to constantly work for their spot, is a philosophy that I truly take pride in, almost. Is that Bayern Munich is a team where even a world-class player coming from some of the best clubs in the world can come in to Bayern Munich and still not be guaranteed the spot. Harry Kane, for example, yes, he scored 8 goals, if I'm not mistaken, in 5 matches in the Bundesliga. But were he to go 2 matches, goalless, more likely than not, Thomas Tuchel would rather start Choupo-Moting or Matthias Tel, other than Harry Kane. Or if it were to be, let's say, 4 games or 5 games, still you wouldn't give a player like Harry Kane any time. You would expect a player like Harry Kane to drop in or to get into this team running. And that's expected of every single other player. Like I said before, and to say in a simpler and well-constructed and construed way, Bayern Munich is a team that no player, world-class or not world-class, academy or seasoned, no player can expect, without a doubt, to be starting based or not based upon his performances. Do you get what I'm saying here, or am I?
Yeah, no. I'm with you. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically the point I'm trying to get here, and that's a point that I'm especially prideful in. That Bayern Munich is a club where no player is guaranteed anything. Other than that, I would say to conclude my fan cam, to conclude my opinions, a great match today. Those 2 points, which are of Thomas Tuchel's substitutions, as well as Leroy Sané and even Kingsley Coman at times, possession of the ball need to be addressed. Other than that, a wonderful win versus VfL Bochum. Our attack has shown great chemistry and utility in that we are able to score and create from multiple opportunities, from multiple positions, whether that be the defense, the back line, the midfield, or the wings, or the striker's position. And furthermore, we have seen the use of a player I haven't mentioned yet, Konrad Leimer, pardon me, and Joshua Kimmich both had a great match today, and both showed that a midfield partnership between them is very likely and is possible. Noussair Mazraoui even an assist today, proving my point of why I feel like he should be a starter in this team. And that's all I have to say, not to bore you all any longer.
No, don't. No, good points. Great points. One thing I do want to add though, and just get your opinion on quickly. What do you think on Choupo-Moting playing at the 10 today?
Choupo-Moting playing at the 10 today. In all honesty, when I first saw the lineup, I thought he was playing as a second striker. In all honesty, I didn't see him playing as a 10. I thought that the Footmob lineup was incorrect, that Choupo-Moting was playing alongside Harry Kane and that we only had a 2-man midfield. I thought that Thomas Tuchel was playing a 4-2-2-2, if you will. But I was mistaken. Like from what I saw, I concluded that Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting was at many times playing not as a second striker but as a playmaker. And honestly, I would say, why not try it, especially against a team like VfL Bochum, where you don't have that much on the line, except for a point or two in the Bundesliga. I would say in a Champions League match against Manchester United, no, don't try him. Rely on your more experienced players, not Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting to be carrying that midfield. But no, in a match like Bochum, I would even suggest why not trying de Ligt as a defensive midfielder. Like, as per example, I'm not saying that he should be tried at that position, but were Tuchel to try him at that position, pardon me, this would be the game to do so.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Man of the match?
Man of the match. Man of the match, it has to be Harry Kane. It would be disrespectful to not name him as man of the match. A hat-trick and 2 assists is a almost guarantee of any man getting man of the match. So I will say Harry Kane. Deservedly so.
Yeah, most definitely, and I agree with that. Well, thank you for coming on, as always, Fahad, mate.
Of course.
If you guys have enjoyed, smash the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. It's always a good time when you get Fahad in here. yeah, man, without further ado, smash the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Till then, mia san mia. Peace out, people. Peace out.